Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for PIK. Oh, wait, no, it's not PIK. This is Politically Incorrect Knitters. I'm Deplorable Knitter. That is Ann Pinkova. It is
Hello.
early. Good morning.
It's an extra early episode. We both had things to do today, so
We both do. We actually have the same thing to do in two different states at the same time. So odds are, I mean, that doesn't usually happen, but kind of fun.
yeah.
Um, so before we get started, we are sponsored by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. You can check her
We
out
are.
at chickenladyfiberarts.com. She has beautiful yarns like some of these. This is Copacabana. This is last month's winner, which was Christina Elsley. I haven't sent it yet. This is Neapolitan, which was Liz's winning, and I will also send that to you. Monday's going to be mail day here.
Right. Oh, and in our last episode that isn't published, we did announce the winner for the Mark Schallberg challenge,
Yes.
which is Carrie Yetter, and your yarn's over there, but it is the Smoky Mountain colorway from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I knocked my camera. And it's very pretty.
It is very
And
pretty. It's all blues and grays and lovely.
also, I have this month's giveaway, which is the robot themed yarn. I cannot remember the name of it.
It's a light
Something,
silver and it's sparkly and it's very pretty.
and I went to find it and I couldn't find it, and then I bent my nail and I had to curse, and so I said, sorry, Anne, I don't have the yarn today. So good morning. Sorry, we're giving away some silver yarn with some silver sparkles in it from Chicken Lady. It's very pretty,
There
very,
you go.
very cool.
Comment when the video is done.
Yes. And
But
yep.
sorry, go ahead. I was going to say also because we're a little behind in videos, Chicken Lady Fiber Arts promo code for this month is Red Robin 20 PIK for 20% off your order.
Yes, use that. Red Robin, like the burger place. So if you
Yes.
can't remember it, that's a good way. Um,
It beautifully yarns.
and yes, beautiful yarns. There's all kinds of beautiful yarns. I've got lots of them behind me too. Um, and the other episode's not out because I need a new computer. So if any of you guys are techie and you have a recommendation for a decent computer that won't break the bank, because editing has gotten so hard on my old one. Seriously, like I will go to upload the video and like an hour and a half later, and so I think that that's part of what my block has been, because it's hard to like wait. I don't have time for that. So we're gonna fix it by getting a new computer, I hope. So if you have any comments, if you know anything about computers, I would appreciate it, because I don't. I pretend to be techie just because Anne is even less techie than I am.
That's true. I can send you over my laptop is. It works great. But
Yeah, good. Okay, we'll talk about it. But
I had to ask my brother who's techie. So
yeah, see, but that's the thing. I was like,
that's
you
how
know
things.
what? I better put it out there because there are people that watch that know things that I don't. So there you go. Um, and you guys might notice that Anne has a fantastic top on this morning.
I
And
know.
this is something that we're working on together. So um,
I know.
we
It's a
haven't,
little tight too. I'm a little self-conscious, but this logo on boobs is very
it is what it is. It's a nice shirt. Um,
should have ordered a
so
size up. But anyways, if you like that sort of thing.
I think it looks nice on you. So whatever. But so that's something that we do have in the works. That was just our sample that we ordered because the place we're going with, they're like, order a sample so you know what you're getting. And since I own several Deplorable Knitter shirts, I said, hey, Anne, speaking of Deplorable Knitter shirts, do you know what happened this morning? I was so mad.
But
I went in the garage to get my wrapping paper because I'm going to a bridal shower today. And my shirt caught on something in the garage. And now I have a hole in my tie-dye Deplorable Knitter t-shirt, which is my favorite one. And I am so mad. Like,
oh,
that's just so off topic, but it happens.
but it
It's
but
annoying.
it is
So I'll
annoying.
have to replace it with one of our Politically Incorrect Knitter shirts. And so
Yeah,
that's something
and
that we're working on.
yeah, and the printing is nice. It's printed in the fabric. It's not one of those plastic decals that are kind of like floating on top. And you know how when they
Yeah.
get older, they flake and it's bad.
Yeah. The company I ordered my Deplorable Knitter. If you got a Deplorable Knitter shirt from when I did it a couple years ago, it's the same kind of printing because that's how they did it until they switched, and they were awesome. And you can wash them 1,000 times and it's still there. So it's great. Um, yeah. So that's that. So you want to talk knitting? You said you had a
Yeah.
project you're super excited about.
Yeah. Well, first of all, hang on. Because I had to throw everything in the chair before I got it. First of all, I what I didn't do this week was something sensible, like work on the second one of these gloves. I have the cuff almost done for the second one, but the cuff ain't a glove. Um,
Mm-hmm. I just
so
spilled coffee.
oh, you're good.
It's nice though.
I
Yeah.
haven't grabbed my coffee yet because I'm afraid of spilling on my brand new white shirt, which will almost certainly happen. Um, but loud biker. Sorry
Mm-hmm.
about that.
It's good.
But anyways, the cutoff date for the gloves is I want to say the 15th. Not for the gloves, for
For the
Neil, for Block
magazine.
Magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's Monday.
right.
Because I
So,
had meant to put a pattern in there, and here it is the 13th. And so I guess that I will just have to sit this one out and the next one because I'm not doing anything superhero. Hi, have you met me?
well, I think heroes generally, if you can work in a hero of some sort, works
Like a
for
Trump
that.
pattern?
Like a Trump pattern. Trump's your
I
hero.
mean, those are right up my alley. So
Hey, it's election season, you got it. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited about these. I hope other people dig them. There's
I
the
love those shooter mitts. They look so weird on you, but they make perfect sense. Like I
right.
have a
I mean,
buddy that
it's
hunts, and yeah.
yeah, it's the bare arm tissue. Keeps your fingers all warm together, except for the one that you need. And
Hmm.
yeah, or just regular old gloves because that's more common. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's like the penguin.
Or you could also take that shooter mitt and just not do the pointy finger and have a mitten. I mean, it's all
That's
good
true. Be super easy
because
to do.
I actually prefer mittens over gloves because
Mhm.
my fingers like to be together to keep each other warm, you
Mhm.
know. So
Makes sense.
it's just my opinion.
Right. Well, if I can barely get the second glove done, I'm not going to do another one with mittens.
Oh
And
no,
then
no, but I'm
then
just
I'd be
saying to people who
tempted
are
to
looking
like
at it.
yeah, then I'd be tempted to like extend the pattern if I was doing a mitten. No, we're not playing. We're just
No, no, you don't need to go overboard. I'm just saying if you don't want to do gloves or a shooter mitt, it would be super easy to
yeah.
make it into a straight up mitten,
Oh
which would
yeah,
be
you can
cool.
adapt it very easily. And
That's all.
yeah, steal the little skull repeat for a matching hat. You can do whatever you like.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be easy to throw on a hat. You get
Oh
a
yeah.
brim, you do a couple rows of that, like all the way around, it'd look awesome.
Yeah.
You could even do the memento mori and then yeah, there's so many cool things you could do
See?
with it. So yeah, have fun.
Exactly. You can take and you can hack my pattern into every different direction. And sorry, as
I
I
mean, if you're putting it out there, people can do whatever they
oh
want
yeah,
with it.
definitely. It's a free pattern. It's unblocked. And my new little wacky increase too, which you
Want me
can
to make you
also
big
steal
again?
for anything. Oh, you're fine. It's all
Anne's
right.
like, please don't.
We did this all in knitting wars,
We
but
did.
still, I'm very proud of these. They make me happy.
That's cool.
But
So,
and
is that the project? No, that's not the
no,
project.
I
There's something else that has distracted her. That's what's
yeah,
happened here.
because Jenny of Sweater Freak had a test knit out,
I
and
don't know
Jenny,
Sweater Freak.
oh, she's very nice.
Oh, cool. I'll have to go check her
Therese,
out.
yeah, Therese is in the chat. She did one of her scarves, and it's this like all over houndstooth design in black and white. It's incredible. It is
Nice.
absolutely stunning. Um, but yeah, this is I wrote the name down. The Flower Street wrap. So it is kind of asymmetrical. It will be a kind of a long
Mm-hmm.
kind of squarish
Cool.
scarf, but it's a pattern to be done with 12 minis. So I assume it's for an advent or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have fingering weight, advent, anything to match. Yeah, Therese says it's mosaic, but
Yep.
yeah,
Very cool.
it
We'll check it out. I love
it's
mosaic knitting
very,
because it looks
very
awesome.
pretty.
I mean, I also love stranded, but mosaic is a little bit less thought provoking. You can kind of just do it. Whereas stranded, you kind of have to pay a little more attention, but hey, whatever.
Yeah,
Because you're not
and
carrying your yarns.
Right, and the texture of how it turned out front and back was very
Mm-hmm.
cool because she, showed it
Cool.
off on Knit Night. But, yeah, anyways, so this is, um so I had to, make my own, 12 mini, um,
Mm-hmm.
spade
Because
set.
you've used all your minis to make the puzzle box, so then you were out of
Yes.
luck.
Yeah, so those were all, the DK minis, so I grabbed and, this is, um I don't know if you recall the Revolution yarn sock set that you got me,
I do,
but
because it
yeah,
was so pretty.
it
I was
is very
wondering what that pretty yarn was. It's wildflowers, right?
it is, yeah, and
Yes.
I have the green later too, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I won't use all of this, of course, because it's just a mini's worth, but as I was sitting with all of my yarns, again, trying to get 12 in a fade, I'm like, "Oh, wow, that would be
Yeah. I
very
do
nice."
love Revolution yarn. She does make me happy.
Mhm, but
I'm
yeah.
working on maybe going to meet her,
Ooh,
so
that would
that
be
might
fun.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm just trying.
here's oh, sorry, go on, talk.
Oh no, no. What's that? Just a little edging?
Yeah, there's, this sort of crossover stitch.
Oh, it's like the Indian cross stitch. I love that stitch.
It's very
I
pretty.
used it in one of my patterns with
Yeah,
a Revolution yarn, and it showed off the colors very nicely. I wonder where that hat is. I'll have to find it.
yeah, I have yeah, and, this the brown is Julie Aslin, I think,
Hmm.
maybe? I don't know. Again,
Mm-hmm.
random stuff I had.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's very pretty. It's an excellent pattern. Jenny's a mad lad. That anytime that I looked in the pattern, I'm like, "Oh, wait, should it be this way and not this way?" And she had already anticipated that and wrote it that way in the pattern.
Cool.
Super, super
Very good.
simple. And because the colored sections, um, I mean, you have your edge bit, which is nice and fancy. Not that difficult, really, but it's all good. And then having these garter sections in between, it was just with all my own pattern designing, kind of that way with the Amran shawl too. That's like, oh, it's a garter stitch shawl. It's
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I can do something useful in test knit and use a lot of new colors and other things, but also it's like, okay, this will be easily, I can memorize it really easy. I can sit and watch a show. I can,
Yeah.
do this
I
while
love
thinking of
designing, but sometimes when I'm either in a slump or if I've been designing a lot, I really like somebody else's pattern. I like
Mhm.
somebody else telling me what to do so that I can kind of like let my brain reset, and then you can kind of get inspired again by having a product and something to work on. And I think
Right.
it helps.
Yeah, and for the upcoming Heroes issue, well, I need to finish that Isom shawl to begin with, but I
Right.
have like another shawl idea and then something else. I'm like, ah. So thinking of all of those big project things, it's like I just need something so I can think on those. Like
Yeah.
I can't quite jump into them yet because yeah, one of them I'm not even sure will be ready anywhere near in time, but it's a weird construction if I do.
Hmm.
So, anyways,
Sometimes you
we'll see.
gotta like
We'll see.
think on that and see how it goes. So
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, you make fun of me for having all of the little test samples. It's like I don't even know how I'm going to go about test sampling that one. That one's going to be
Hmm.
weird.
I don't make fun of you. I just find it so funny that we're so different when it comes to some things.
Mhm.
Anne has the coolest scrap blanket because she samples everything 800 times. And me, I'm like, eh, we'll just wing it. It's probably fine. So it just makes me
Well,
laugh.
I actually bought acrylic yarn the other day because I was running out of random red heart acrylic for my stuff.
Serious. That's hilarious.
Yes, and you know the crochet squared red heart yarn that everyone's complaining about
Hmm.
because it's sort of
It's
weird.
hard to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, getting the gauge
If
right
you
is
don't
a
have
little
like the perfect gauge and stuff, I think it's a nightmare.
yeah. But I saw some of that and it was the most hideous yarn you've ever seen and I loved it. So, while
So did
when
you buy some?
I did, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not even sure if this is useful because when I do sample, like if you have a color and either the main color that it is or if the background changes color, it's much harder to see.
Mhm.
So why would I do this? Why? Why?
Well, maybe you're going to practice your crocheting.
Maybe
Just saying. Could
I
be.
could,
Cool.
but yeah,
Mhm.
got that
I've been
going on.
knitting.
Yeah, what have you been working on?
Are you ready for this? Probably not
Yeah.
ready for this. Oh, hey, first off, I went to the yarn store yesterday. I needed another skein of this color because I did. And then I also picked up a skein of this color because yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that they're like tonal and not real. They're really saturated and tonal and can be used for a lot of things. But I needed the green one specifically because I'm knitting a sweater.
Nice.
Hi. Have you met me? I haven't met me. Look it. This is it might be called Spring Fling and it's by either the Petite Knitter or Petite Knits. It's the not the one that everybody hates for like doing small sizes. She's a different lady. Um but it's got this sorry. So obviously this is the top of the sweater right here.
Mhm.
And it's got this color work and then it's got these flowers and then the body of it is going to be the green. And then if I have enough, I might on the bottom do this color work again and like do the ribbing to kind of
Yeah,
mirror it, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I've been working on it and look at like, oh my gosh, what? So I'm
it's very
excited.
pretty.
Yeah, the colors were, um, I got this variegated and it was fingering weight and the other yarn is worsted. So I had to pair it with a color so that it was thick enough to knit. So
Right.
it's fun. It's going along well. Um, Pretty stoked. Got these yarns. And then I also bought other yarn
Ooh.
because sorry. Why not? So this is from Yarn Cafe Creations. Love her yarns. I've gotten them several times. She does like cool sales on like, oh, here's a mystery bundle of mini skeins. And so like they're cheap, but you have no idea what you're getting. So it's fun. Um, but I got a mini skein set that came in its own bag, which I thought was fun. And they're a little messed up because I had to take them out and look at them all, but they're all very pretty and I'm excited. And I don't know what I'm doing with them yet, but it's fun. So
They're pretty.
that's that. Okay. So there's that. And then there's also these skeins, which are for my patrons, and I'm not going to unwrap them, but there's a few of them in here. So that's fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So, like I said, I've been doing some yarn shopping.
Hmm.
Not so much knitting. I mean, I am knitting the sweater, but mostly yarn shopping. I don't know. I kind of felt like even though I have all this yarn behind me, I needed a stash refresh. Like I wasn't feeling, I don't know, inspired. So I needed something else. So that's what I know.
No, I get that. I mean, like the recent dish box I had from Chicken Lady and from Skeins too. It's like I'm missing staples. Like the Chicken Lady
Hmm.
stuff was, I need stuff for specific projects, like the upcoming shawl I
Right.
mentioned, and this chickadee, very pretty.
Right. Very
Um,
pretty.
but yeah, it's like no, I have tasks for all of them. Like
Yeah.
even though it is nice to just shop to kind of be like, okay, I have options, with I know that a lot of people are like, oh, I have a lot of stash, but looking at my stuff, I'm like, okay, so these are wool acrylic blends that would be good for blankets or maybe a sweater, depending on, quality. Then over here we have, this and that, and this is more sock yarn, and this is more the other thing. And these are a bunch of little scraps of stuff. And sometimes it's like if you want to make a specific garment, it's like I don't have anything in this category. Don't have a building block for this.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Like I love all the variegated and stuff that they're my jam, but like when I go to design a hat or something, I can't use them. If I'm doing color work in words, you can't have like anything that's aggressively, you know,
Yeah.
changing colors, because then you can't read it and then it's a waste of time. So, like,
Yeah.
I need to get some of that stuff, I think, which would help me.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, and I saw that, Neil has also, fallen in love with Rowan felted tweed. I love Rowan felted tweed.
oh, I have some
Yeah.
right here somewhere. I'd
Yeah.
have to find it specifically, but it's right there, I swear.
No, I absolutely love this stuff, but it's that thing again where it doesn't like ribbing as
Mhm.
well. Like, the ribbing isn't very stretchy. So it's like, okay, well, like I have some of that in my stash that is probably a sweater's worth. I'm like, ooh, I should knit a sweater out of that. But it's a specific feel and a specific drape, and you have to think about how it will end up as, the end
Mhm.
product. And you're like, okay, well, and
Yeah.
color work is pretty in it, but it can't be like because it's that much fuzzy that it's not the clearest stitch definition.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
kind of, anyways, all those considerations.
True story, man.
And yeah, and sorry, I'm just ranting on this, but color work,
No.
as you mentioned, is like, oh wait, I don't have a color.
Yeah, and like, I think part of the reason that I haven't done much of my political stuff lately is partially because I've been kind of uninspired by politics in general, but also because almost everything I make is like red, white, and blue,
Mhm.
because that kind of goes with the theme, or like a gray and like a red, and honestly, I get kind of sick of it, and I've run out, so I need to work on that.
Right.
It'll all come back together. It just sometimes it's not what I want to do. That's okay.
Just in time for election season.
Right. Right. No, I've had an idea in my head for like ever, and I just need to sit down and do it, but I haven't.
Mhm.
So that's what I know about that.
Fun, fun.
But mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if you want me
Well,
to move on to news,
I guess it's time, right?
I guess. Well, um, there was a bit of a kerfuffle the last couple days that I don't know. I would it's a deal, but it's not something that necessarily worries me, that Trump was talking about Arizona's abortion ban, which because the Supreme Court has put the issue of abortion back to the states, they have this old 1800s law that says, yeah, abortion is illegal and prosecutable, which I'm like, ah, bless you, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, no, I'm totally for this. And that basically in Trump's statement, okay, Trump's a new Trump is a New York lefty. Trump is like, oh well, it's not his position to entirely ban abortion, but it is his position to make it a state's issue,
Mm-hmm.
which means that the people of each individual state can decide what the restrictions will or won't be for abortion, which does make for much longer legislation on the issue. Like, I mean, murder, for example, and what the punishment for murder is a state's
Right.
issue. That we have different states with death penalties and some without death penalties. And anyways, if you're arrested for murder, it's the sheriff, not the federal guy.
Right.
So having these issues be a state's issue, I think is great, though there's been this sort of thing like, oh, Trump doesn't want a federal abortion ban. He's, pro abortion, or other candidates are pro abortion because they don't want a federal ban. I mean, Roe versus Wade was a federal, not ban, opposite of ban, federal permission for it when some states didn't want to go as far. And
Mm-hmm.
that was able to be overturned. Because that's another thing too. That's like, oh, well, this legislation is coming and it's permanent. It's not. It's the devil to get rid of, but it actually can be done. Roe versus Wade was actually overturned. And if we were to put forward a federal abortion ban, well, then that would be the impetus of every Democrat congressperson and Senate member to get rid of that. So having it a state's individual issue makes it much longer lasting, I would think.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know about this abortion law that they have in Arizona. I heard something about it, but I don't know any of the specifics.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, the Babylon Bee they've been pretty funny, but they were kind of ribbing Carrie Lake over it because Carrie Lake isn't she's for it being a state's issue, but I don't know that she's for because I mean it's I think there's an exception for endangerment of the mother's life, but
mhm.
it's a jail time thing. It's someone will come and arrest you for abortion.
Hmm.
And I think some people are thinking that's a little too serious. It's like, well, someone has died, you know?
Yeah, I've always it's not quite the same issue, but I've always kind of wondered how people like reconcile the whole like, okay, if you murder a pregnant woman and she wanted the baby, then it's like double. But if
Mhm,
she murders her kid, it's totally fine. Like, how does that work? How can you justify that in your brain?
mhm.
That's the part, like kind of stuff I don't get.
Right.
Whatever. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think it's murder, and so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
know, man.
Yeah. Also, Tara got a new puppy, the real news.
Oh yeah, right. Like
Yeah,
totally more exciting than
exactly.
sadness.
I've seen pictures of the puppy. He's big and white and fluffy and adorable.
Oh, cute. I'm not a
You
dog
know,
person, but puppies are cute.
I know. He's I forget what breeds he said, but he's going to be a big dog. So
Hmm.
when puppies are, they're very small and they're going to be much bigger when they have extra big paws. Like,
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
sorry,
No, that is
distraction.
cute. Yes, that's all
Um,
good. So, what else?
kind of in the same vein, not in the same vein, kind of um but there's a bill to extends FISA surveillance in the House, which means that our alphabet agencies can spy on Americans without a warrant. Yeah,
Hmm. Great Pyrenees. So there you go.
good
That's
looking up.
nice. I mean, I if they can spy on me without a warrant, then can I like spy on my neighbors? Like, is that like, are we going to be like reciprocal with this? Is it all okay, or is it just if the government's doing that?
I don't know.
I mean,
See,
it's just saying. Seems fair.
yes. Well, it's also the same alphabet agencies that you are absolutely not allowed to lie to them ever, but they are allowed to lie to you.
All the time.
And
Yeah, makes sense.
all the time. Um, like if you don't get a statement exactly right, they'll say like, "Well, you lied to the feds," and like, well, and they can lie and say that they've got you on. Anyways, I'm not a fan of alphabet agencies. Let's just say that, and I'm for disbanding the FBI. It has well outlived its purpose, and they don't catch a lot of bad guys. They don't do their job.
Hmm.
That job could be much better done by other people.
Yes.
Anyways, but part of this is that our big butch Republican House members, it was a tie vote of 212 to 212, and it was Speaker Johnson who let this thing pass.
I miss this. What the what, man?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
No, and there is a Republican Congresswoman. I'm sorry that I don't know her name, but she is fighting this.
Hmm.
That
As
taking
she should.
taking additional measures. Uh, but still incredibly concerning. And part of it is too is legislation versus what people act like is a law. So I've some people have been like, oh, well, they spy on us anyways. This is just codifying it. It's like, yeah, and it's not right. It is not right. And it's not okay to act, you know, it's not okay to act as if this is a law already. That is inappropriate. And also when people find this unacceptable, this sort of behavior will stop.
Right.
Laws will change in the favor of what the people want it to be, and that includes our Congress people. But
Hmm. I know you have other stuff, but you made me think of it. Excuse me, when you were talking about this. On the news this morning, I saw that my husband likes to flip through like the regular mainstream channels in the morning and see what's going on. And one of the stations was like, oh, there's a bill that's been stalled in the House since December, and if it doesn't get passed, Ukraine might lose the war. If all that's standing between Ukraine and winning is our money, maybe we should stop. Like if they can't, if they're not even holding their own without us, like come on, we're not going to help them win. We're just going to prolong it. And they
oh
were
yeah,
like talking about how bad it is, and I'm like, are you people on the same page? Like, uh, why? Why do they deserve our money? Not that I think that there should be war and people should die, and like that's what's going to come out of this statement. I'm sure if somebody's going to say, "Oh, she thinks that they should die." No, but if they, it's not like World War II when we came in and helped turn the tide. We've been propping them up the whole time.
and not
So,
only that, it's after a while the zeros become irrelevant. We have sent stupid amounts of money, billions and billions
stupid.
and billions and billions, and then it's just disappeared. And then they've been like, "Oh well, we need more." Be like,
Hmm.
"I'm sorry, no cocaine habit could make you spend this much. What are you doing?"
Hmm.
You could fund a war and an international gun trades, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if that was the crime of choice. There's a
Hmm.
lot of stuff that we're paying for, and a lot of yeah, a lot of corruption, a lot of issues, no accountability on where our money is going.
Right.
And it's not just us sending Ukraine money. England sent them a bunch of money. Different European countries have sent them money. Zelensky has done the send money now to sendmoneynow.org tour and stood
Right.
around in
And
a tight little green t-shirt like he was doing something this whole time.
yeah, I think my point is like we're not going to physically send troops there. Is my hope. And if we're not going to get there and other countries aren't going to do it, then we're just prolonging the inevitable. Like, is that kind?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer, but
And
I
the
don't.
Biden administration has gotten in the way of peace deals between Russia and Ukraine.
Hmm. Well, because he's so fabulous.
Very, very fabulous. And it's like, well, if you want the fighting to stop, we all have to sit down and talk about it and negotiate. But instead, it's loss of lives and money and the rest of it.
Hmm. Yep. We have U.S. contractors on the ground. Yeah. Ann's dad knows what's up. I know we have some people there, but I mean, like, I don't know. I think that we should just stop enabling it. It's not our business.
Mhm.
It sounds mean, but also, come on.
Right.
So, anyway, I just thought that was interesting.
Right. Well, in minor news, not necessarily large geopolitical, but speaking of Biden, The Rock will no longer endorse him for president. Not that The Rock has been anything but great squishes of our time, but you know, he also works for wrestling league now, and they're more conservative. And not only
Hmm.
are they more conservative, so don't tick off your new fan base, but also they don't require a Democrat loyalty pledge like Hollywood does that you're supposed to
Right.
trot out and say, "End the suffering now, vote for Biden." Um, I don't know if you remember his Biden endorsement that he did before. It
No.
was simpering. It was just, ugh, make
You
you
know, I
gag.
I try not to pay attention to some of that stuff. Like back before The Rock was The Rock, like just when he was a wrestler,
Mm,
when I was about 17, so over 20 years ago. Um my dad and my brother and I would watch wrestling together. It was a family thing we did, and we really enjoyed it, and I really like sometimes there's things that I try to avoid just because like I don't want to know that about him. I want to have these nice memories of this fun time we had and not be like, oh, he's such a piece of shit. So
right.
I don't remember that.
Then
My kids
watch
liked
him play the
Moana.
same character in every movie.
Well, I mean, they liked Moana. Moana's a good movie.
It's fun. It's a
You don't think we should please the world? We're allowing anything to go. Yeah, this is what this is kind of what I was getting at with the Ukraine thing. I don't think we should please the world. Our country is a burning trash heap at the moment, so like let's deal with that. Hey, it's an airplane. Let's put on our own mask before we help our other people. It's not that hard. Okay, anyway.
And policing the
He's a
world would be
jabroni
better if we were any good at
Sorry. So, anyway, I did not know that The Rock had gone back. I just had a long conversation with my brother about that this week because my brother still watches wrestling. He's like, it's like a soap opera for dudes. It's so much fun. I'm like, hey, whatever makes you happy.
You know,
But he was
the
telling me
thing
all
is
about it.
that, look, dudes love a soap opera. There's
do.
no lie.
Yeah. Dude, my dad used to watch Days of Our Lives. My mom and him used to watch it, and then they got divorced, and then my dad started watching it like years later. And he watched it for a long time until it got like too ridiculous. And I'm like, what constitutes too ridiculous on a soap opera? I mean, soap operas are ridiculous. It's kind of like the point of them, but whatever.
Right. That's why people watch.
So, yeah, no, it's fun. And so when it comes to a lot of people, my point, I got way off track for a second there, but my point is that when it comes to these people, I kind of don't want to know. Like there's some stuff that I just want to keep like, this was a happy, fun memory. Like, I don't need to know his political whatever. Like, just do your thing. I try to avoid a lot of them, you know. But that's me.
Oh, that's fair.
Texas sheep ladies on a roll today. If we stop sending money overseas, how are they going to become their millions? You know, get their millions, which is true.
Good questions. Good questions.
If I send yarn money overseas, will I get a millionaire or will I just get yarn? Like, I think that it wouldn't work out well for me. Just end up with more yarn.
Oh.
Yes.
Also, sorry, in the Rock endorsements, for a fun story. So Billy D. Williams was on Bill Maher's show talking about, speaking of simpering people. And Billy D is just sitting there big and smiling like always.
I don't know who Billy D is. Am I supposed to?
Lando Calrissian.
Who?
Oh.
What?
No, he's an actor.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's very charming. He also played Harvey Dent in like the older Batman movies.
Okay.
But anyways, saw him in a blaxploitation film once. It was like Ebony. Movie sucked. He was really great though. Okay. He's one of those actors who's like always charming wherever he is.
Is this because I don't know who he is, Tara, or what? Sorry. Hi, have you met me? I know nothing.
Well, anyways, Billy D is great.
Okay.
He's much older now.
Okay.
And he was talking with Bill Maher, and Bill Maher was doing the kind of like Bill Maher's always simpering, but because you don't know who he is, Billy D.
That's your favorite thing.
He is. Sorry to repeat myself over and over, but he's all well, and Bill Maher mentions that, well, that was blackface back in the day, and you could never do that now. And Billy D is like, why not? An actor should be able to do anything that they like. Anything, goes for them. And, Bill Maher does the, oh, well, but don't you know you're black sort of a thing. And he's just sitting there like, what? It's like, so, and sorry. He's like, no, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not going to, walk around and be pissed off 24/7. No, it's totally okay. And he's sitting there totally cool. Everything's fine. Stop making it a big deal. We live in the future now. It's a-okay. But yeah, and then he called Bill Maher a terrible person for even thinking of that. But he did it in such like again, chill dude. Yeah, he's like, it was awesome. Like, you're a terrible person. Like, sorry,
choking. I'm fine.
Okay. Good. But anyways, I just thought it was funny.
Cool. And apparently that's what that face was for, because even Tara's kids know who that is, and I still don't. So there you go. So,
Morning, Katie. Anyways, but yeah, that was the news of the week. I mean, there's other lingering stuff going on. Everything's on fire, and our Fourth Amendment is in trouble. But hey,
why?
no, because of the search without a warrant.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought
I've
there was
said
something additional that I had missed.
additional.
Like, what
No,
else did I not see this week?
no, all of our amendments are in problem. The
Well,
search
yeah.
and
I saw something
seizure, the free
about
speech, the
Kentenji Jackson Brown said something about how free speech, the First Amendment, is like not letting them do their jobs or something, and it's like, that's why we have it. That's why we have it, to keep all of you people in check. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. So,
I'm still on team. Everyone says, has T-shirts with, right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Love it. I love it. I'm there. I do not want that changed, not one dot nor tittle. But I also want speedy and just trial, because that hasn't been going on for years. And if we could get that, a lot of things would be fixed.
right. Yeah. Maybe I need to do some amendment designs.
Hey, you could.
I better go.
Not to
write
give
these things down before I forget, and then it never dawns on me ever again, because that's what happens to me. I have great ideas and then I wander away.
You could do like a little cowl motif design with them in rows.
Do you know what I've been thinking of for years and I haven't done? You know the sign "Love is Love" and it's black background with the rainbow, and then there's the one that says, like, it's got the different things, like, we don't believe in simple platitudes and stuff. I've been thinking of a design with that for years, and I just haven't, because it's going to be a lot of color work, and it's going to be a lot of like figuring out how to do it, and I'm like, but I should get back on that, because it would be cool. It would be really cool. Could you imagine a big cowl stacked like that with the rainbow? And
and they're like, oh, you're
it, so it's like,
yeah, that people would be like, oh, she has. It's like when you're behind a car that has a lot of bumper stickers, and you're like, oh, they really care. Don't drive too closely.
I look at the, like, so I don't do bumper stickers on my cars now because my husband does not prefer them, so that's fine. But when I was single and I had my own car and we didn't share, oh, here's what she said. 1A was hamstringing the government. Yeah, exactly. It's working. But the only bumper sticker I've ever had on my car was a Dave Matthews Fire Dancer, because that's my generation. Hi, I'm old. It's my thing. But I've never understood the whole, like, you need to know everything about me. Although I have to say, the ones that were like the different kinds of guns that said "fuck Cuomo" were really cool. And now they have them that say "fuck Biden." The guns spell out the words. But
I don't know.
I wouldn't put it on my car.
I don't know. I'm not for like wearing shirts, cars, hats, things, because I'm like, you're walking around in public and there might be like kids there. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, no, I don't like the. That's what I always said. I used to have people who asked me to make some, like, "fuck Biden" or something. And I always said, if I can't knit it when my kids are around, I'm not going to make it, because that's just like, you know what I mean? If I wouldn't feel confident saying that to my grandma or my kids, then I'm good. Right. Thanks.
So speaking of bumper stickers, so there's this one lady. I hope this isn't doxing enough or anything, but she whoever she leaves for work about the same time I do, so I'm often like next to her vehicle in traffic, and it's a little yellow car, and it has like a Stegosaurus bumper sticker, and then a bumper sticker that says, "This vehicle makes frequent stops at your mom's house," and she has big Lolita sunglasses. I'm like, I don't know who you are, but you're hilarious.
Yeah, she's
like,
doing it just for the jokes.
We should be buddies. We should hang out.
Yeah. This is a good point. I don't want people to do things to my car because they have issues with my political beliefs that I have on it. I can't tell you though. In New York, I cannot tell you the number of cars I parked near in a parking lot, going to stores and stuff that have like trans lives matters. I was behind one the other day that said trans fairies matter, and I'm like, we're getting that specific now? Like, what the hell is that?
Like fairy.
Whatever. No profanity on clothes, but I do have a Let's Go Brandon shirt. Yeah, I mean, I made the Let's Go Brandon and I used the hashtag FJB on it, but I didn't spell out the words. I was just kind of going with the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had a real feminist don't kill babies bumper stickers. Ooh. Ooh. Gosh, I need my. Hold on. No, that's not the right one. This one.
You're like, write that down.
Dude, I can't. I will forget in a second. I can't help it. It's who I am.
See?
Okay.
It would make for a good new pattern.
Okay, so, and then I'm going to write down the first amendment. Well, not first, but amendment. Yeah, and the thing with the rainbow sign design is that I don't know what I would put it on. It would have to be on something that you could see. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you could, it'd be a pain in the butt, but you could put it on a sweater. You could have a black sweater with big blocks of it on front. You could do intarsia. Yes.
Have you met me?
I know.
I mean, if you want to make a sweater outfit, I won't be offended.
No, it would just be a pain, but not
right.
I mean, you could do a pieced sweater. You can knit a plain black, plain sleeves, and then just have the front piece of the sweater and then knit intarsia back and forth with whatever your words are. So you only have, I mean, you could carry it all the way around, but I think it would look better if it looked like a graphic tee, just the words right there.
I could see a cardigan with it on the back.
Yeah, that could work.
I'm not doing it. DK designs and knits it. Yeah, I mean, you can do all my intarsia. I will just write the pattern.
Yeah.
I'll just write the panel. You can figure out the rest.
Just make that work.
I'll just make Anne do the hard part. Okay, thank you.
So, I did do a little bit of that. Again, with Blocked Magazine, the upcoming issue. Liz Clothier, she has a cowl pattern in it, and cool. She wanted one of those little Cladow heart things in it with the arms, 4 bear arms. So I did spend time working on that for her, which was pretty fun
stuff.
Yeah.
Good. Cool.
But yeah, she's already knitted up. It's very pretty.
Nice. I'm glad. So, what do you think, Anne? What else is happening?
Well, I don't know what else is happening. Everything's on fire all the time. And I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I'm that meme. You know, the dog sitting there drinking coffee, it's a little cartoon, and everything is on fire around him. And he's sitting there going, it's fine. I'm fine. That's me. I feel like everything's on fire. So, like, whatever.
Yeah, but there's everything on fire, and then there's everybody freaking out about everything being on fire. And it's like, guys, just chill a little bit. Not that things are good and that you shouldn't be worried about them, but anything that drives you to inaction, anything that drives you to it's all over, don't do your enemy's work for them, okay?
True.
Don't be that guy. Don't demoralize yourself.
Good advice.
There you go.
Yeah, anyway, and when you feel demoralized, fill yourself up with something that edifies you. I was talking about it yesterday at co-op, that I've been feeling kind of drained,
Mhm.
And another mom was giving me podcast recommendations. She's like, because sometimes you just need to fill your own cup. You can't help anybody else if you're worn
Right.
out. And I was like, that's really good advice. So there you go.
No, totally. And it's like, okay, well, how do we make a better nation? Well, we start with us. We become better people, and then we help the other people around us. It's like, well, you can hope for higher things, but the main work that you do is the work in front of you. And if you're not
Mm-hmm.
doing that work, then you're not doing any work. Like what? You're
Yep.
just complaining. So,
Very true. And on
anyways,
that note, I think we're going to go because Anne and I both have places to be this morning, which is why we decided to be here so bright and early. And thanks
right.
for everybody who got up with us because
Yes.
I know
Thank
a
you for
lot of
everyone
people
in the
are,
chat.
yeah, a lot of people are
Yeah,
in
and
different time zones.
yeah, and thank you to everyone in the replay. I probably wouldn't have woke up this early for someone else's podcast, so thank you all.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure that you comment because you'll be entered to win the beautiful skein of Chicken Lady yarn that I will find for next episode. It's silver, it's sparkly, it's like a gray with little darker speckles, very pretty. Um, and make sure that you're entered to win. And
And
that's it.
the Chicken Lady Fiber Arts promo code, most
Yes.
important, is Red Robin PI. Oh, sorry, Red Robin 20 PIK for 20% off your order.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
use it. Do check her out. She
Get
has
beautiful
new
yarns.
yarns. Yes, she has new yarns coming all the time. So sign up for her newsletter.
Yeah.
And Lynn's super cool. And she has Made in America yarn.
Yeah. And we really like her. So, and
Yeah.
not just because, she asks us to tell you that. We just really like her. So,
No, sincerely, her stuff is awesome. And, like I said, ordered from her, been knitting from her yarn. It's really good, guys.
yeah.
You want it.
Yep. So, we will see you next week. Thanks for coming up this morning. Have a good
Yep.
one. All right. Bye.
Bye.